please welcome Pastor and City Councilman Fernando Cabrera.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you have heard today, we are facing a battle. We are in the middle of a cultural war. We are facing an unprecedented level of religious attacks like never before. Case in point, New York City. The mayor of New York, about a year ago, started to make a move in trying to get churches to be evicted from renting from public schools. Imagine that. Imagine that we have over 10,000 nonprofit organizations that could rent from New York City public schools, but one specific group is being targeted. And guess who that is? We're talking about the houses of worship. And back in December of last year, the mayor of New York said, I'm going to give you just but a few weeks. A few weeks. Imagine in New York City trying to find a location to be able to rent. Talking about congregations that represent some of the poorest people in the United States of America, including my councilman district, where I'm a city council member. I'm in a councilman district where it's the poorest congressional district in the United States. And here comes the Board of Education, who they themselves cannot find properties to have more public schools and have millions of dollars. Let me take that back. Billions of dollars. And now they're telling us, you can't rent from public schools. You're the only ones who can rent from public schools. Now, we're not asking for a favor. We're asking for fairness. We're talking about renting. We're talking about contributing to our New York City public school system that is in dire need of funding. We're talking about churches that have given of themselves, who have volunteered day in, day out, who are rescuing young people who are literally being lost in the streets of New York City, who are being churches who have given of themselves, who have put themselves in the line to provide adult literacy, to help the poor, to help the needy. And we're being told, you're no longer welcome. And I started to ask myself, what is going on? Why such a frontal attack towards churches, this unprecedented level of religious attack? And this is not the only one. In 9/11, we were told that pastors and clergy could not participate in the 10-year anniversary. We're talking about crisis pregnancy center, religious ones, of course, who the Speaker of the City Council drafted a bill to design to shut down all of the crisis pregnancy center in the city of New York. What is going on? Let me tell you what's going on. What is going on is that there are special interest groups who are using government right now to become the religion police. What we're talking about here is that we have a small group of people who have positioned themselves to define what worship is, who have positioned themselves to define which religious group should be allowed, for example, in the New York City school to rent. Did you know that the Baha'i faith or a Quaker could rent for New York City schools under the policy that the mayor ever has put forth, but a Southern Baptist, hello somebody, Assemblies of God, Pentecostal, Presbyterian, Methodist, Lutherans couldn't rent a New York City public school. Now we have the government establishing their own religion, and which religions they're going to support. There's something tragically wrong, and there's a deeper issue. And the deeper issue is this: there's a hidden agenda by the special groups who have seen classical, historical Christianity. Listen carefully. And I want everybody who's listening by the radio and watching by television to listen carefully, because I've been told this by the other side, that there is a master premeditated plan to stop churches from growing and mobilizing, because we are the only ones who are standing in the way. That is the fundamental critical issue facing right now, that we're facing right now. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, this iPledge, this is why Sunday, this is why what we're doing and what we're talking about here today is essential. Now, how are they doing this? Well, what they're doing is they're taking positions of power and influence to redefine and restrict religious freedom. Listen, I'm not an alarmist. I'm not a sensationalist. I consider myself somebody to be reasonable. I'm a college professor. I have a doctorate degree. I work in higher education. I'm an elected official. Well, maybe that. I'm a pastor of a church. I have traveled all over the world. But let me tell you what I'm trying to tell you here, that there's an urgency. You're hearing it here in this meeting here today, that those who proclaim to be tolerant, they're tolerant of everybody except those who they don't tolerate. And so the goal... Let me tell you what the ultimate goal is. The ultimate goal is secular humanism to become the religion of the land. And if you don't believe me, talk to the brothers, our brothers and sisters in Europe, who are now coming to America, and they sounded a clarion call, because they're telling us we were caught off guard. And they're saying, Americans, please wake up. Church of the living God, please listen to this trumpet sound from this man of God. I'm telling you that it's wake up time. It's time for the church to wake up and have an awakening. It's time to rise up and be the church. It's time for the sleeping giant to arise and be counted and be bold and be fearless at this hour. So today, I pledge and I pray that you will join with me to pledge to fight for our religious freedom. God bless you. Let's move forward and let's win, because we were destined to win. God bless you.